Well, thank you very much, everyone, for coming, and I'm very grateful to all of you who've been supporting this and coming here. Even though it's not as formal and it's not as tight as I could make it, but I'm working on it. And thank you very much for your patience, and thank you, Nizam, for your patience for putting up with my and everyone else. Okay. We're gonna try to make it as tight and professional as we can. Unless, I don't know, those of you who are here would love it the way it is. You may not come back if we make it tight and professional.
Yeah, right.
It will be smooth professional, not that yeah, okay. It'll be just like this, except professional. All right. So what should I do? Should I just start, or you read already?
No, I can just quickly say that our topic for today is clarity and discernment. Um, I guess all the intros, maybe they're good for YouTube, but sometimes it feels redundant with everybody who knows everything here. But we love Phuntsok incredibly. He's been teaching for 3 decades more and drawing from Tibetan Buddhist. Indo-Tibetan Buddhist mind science is a new phrase that I really love. Um, And so today, yeah, we just, we're in a crazy situation nationally, globally, perhaps constantly, but more than ever right now. And so it felt like finding the qualities of clarity and discernment are very important in a time like this. So that was the impetus for our topic today. And with that, I'll hand it over to Punsak. We have our different ways of donating, just as a reminder. And yeah, just glad to be here.
All right, thank you. All right, so let's begin the way we usually begin, with a meditation. Meditation to set our intention so we can put aside the busyness of the day so our mind can be conducive and well prepared to absorb and to be able to tack into as much of our wisdom as possible during this talk. Okay. Bring to mind your intention to enter meditation. Allow your innate sense of knowing to guide you as to what is meditation. Don't let it stay at the intellectual level. Let it go deep. And let the response, the answer from the depth of your being come forward. Just relax and allow. Allow the natural intelligence in the body itself to guide you. It knows exactly how the body should be, so it can be as conducive as possible, so you can go as deeply as possible into the meditative state. Feel connected. When you feel the need to make adjustments, rejoice, knowing that it is that connection you are communicating, it is communicating with you. Apply the adjustments as mindfully as you can, with the confidence of knowing this is from that innate intelligence in the body guiding me, helping me to adjust the posture of my body as well as I can for this meditation. Eventually, you reach a point where you don't feel the need to make any further adjustments in the body. Your adjustments could feel like big adjustments, or they could be so micro that only you are aware that you're making adjustments. Once you reach that sense of confidence, then gently come to the breath. While you're maintaining just a mere observer awareness of the breath, not seeking to control it, not seeking to make in-breath longer or shorter, or the to make the out breath longer or shorter. Just being aware of the breath. And that intelligence in the body may continue to communicate with you while you're maintaining awareness of the breath. Make your adjustments. I probably just told you you could relax your shoulders more and just relax while you're maintaining awareness of the breath. Straighten your spine a little bit more, and you do it while you are aware of the breath. Now gently, with the breath, scan the body. Bring awareness to the legs, feeling their sense of stability and support. Rejoice. Noticing a slight sense of pleasantness arising from the comfort. With the breath, become aware of the torso. Notice the attentiveness that the spine gives you, the openness that the open chest and heart gives you. Rejoice. Become aware of the shoulders and arms. Allow them to give you a sense of evenness, unity. The head and neck giving you a sense of centeredness. Either with the in-breath or with the out-breath, when you move from one part to the next, let that be the one that you follow. Like with the out-breath, move your attention to the mouth, teeth, and tongue. Notice a sense of naturalness. Rejoice. Then bring attention to your eyes. And let them give you a sense of soft resting. You're not going to create the meditative state. You're going to allow yourself to experience it. And once you feel confident in the posture, again, go back to the breath. Breathing in, breathing out. You are aware you are breathing in. You are aware you are breathing out. And once that shift occurs in the breath, know that it's a readiness. An alignment has taken place. The different dimensions of your being are now aligned. To sort of seal this alignment, we will do 3 conscious breaths, deep breath, gently, fully breathe in. Hold the breath, preparing ourselves to dive deeper into the meditative state. And release the breath. And as you release the breath, and feel yourself going deeper into the sense of calm, feeling yourself going deeper into the sense of pleasantness. And at the end of the exhalation, stay where you've reached in terms of calm and pleasantness. Notice whatever signs pointing to clarity and radiance. Noticing them, rejoice. Staying here with the intention to go even deeper. Take a nice deep breath again through the nose, gently, fully breathe in. Hold, being aware of where you've reached, intending to go deeper, and release. Notice the depth you've reached. Leave the breath alone, rejoicing. And for the 3rd time, again, one more time, gently, fully breathe in. Hold, preparing yourself, and let go. immediately notice the signs, your sign of clarity, your indirect signs of radiance. Noticing them, rejoice. They are inner sensations that you're suddenly aware of, or which have become sharper or stronger. Notice them, rejoice. With that in mind, hold your intention for this session to come out with a greater understanding of clarity, come out with a greater understanding of discernment. Bring your attention to the point within your alignment that feels like your center. Some it could be the navel, some it could be the heart, others it could be the throat, wherever it is for you, even above your head. Wherever you feel for you is a center for you. Bring your attention there as if you're looking from that perspective. And you may feel a physiological sensation in connection to that point. And call forth your innate capacity for wisdom. The part of you that is still very much in connection to your authentic self, authentic being, authentic nature. To rarefy the sense of this contact, express deep sense of trust, deep sense of reverence, and remembering those moments when you were aided from nowhere, knowing that it came from this place, express gratitude, and knowing that this will continue on into the future. And as you're expressing these sentiments, reverence, trust, gratitude, allow yourself to go deeper into the signs, calm, pleasant, clarity, radiance, collected attention. Just keep cycling, going back and forth. Reverence, trust, gratitude, reverence, trust, gratitude. Let it build up. And you build this up until it gets to a certain state where you feel, I don't ever want to not be aware of you. this aspect of me. So invite it to enter into that center. And once it enters into that center, let it radiate its presence throughout your being, meaning from subconscious to conscious, and whatever other dimensions of awareness that you have. So no matter where you are aware, whatever level of awareness you are able to be aware of its presence. Feel joy and ready to come out. Gently, fully. Take a nice deep breath with the intention to come out. Hold, feeling ready to come out, and release. And as you release, deliberately let yourself be aware of your immediate surroundings. Be aware of your surroundings through the sense of touch. Be aware of the clothing again, how tight, how loose. Be aware of the temperature of the room. Be aware of the different sounds, and allow your eyes to notice lights, colors, shapes, shadows. Okay. Now, the way the email went out, the understanding of clarity and discernment that it seems to be pointing to, it seems to be something pointing to something somewhat mundane. By mundane, I don't mean, I mean something, this is not something to do with the higher, so whatever dimensions. This has to do with our everyday activity here. If you continue to have this kind of dichotomy, this kind of duality about there's the mundane and then there's the other realm that I'm not quite touched yet, then you have to begin to stop that habit. Okay. It's not that I'm not talking about that new agey thing where everything is one, everything is already here. There's no need to do anything. I'm not talking about that kind of new age kind of mindset. But I'm talking about that. Don't think that no, it's like for those of you who used to go to church or still go to church, there's a thing of Sunday Christian or Sunday religious. Someone is religious on the day when they're supposed to attend church or attend temple or attend, what else is God? Synagogue or a place of worship. And then that's when they are very religious. That's when they think of putting into practice what they're supposed to be putting into practice. And as soon as that's gone, then they go back to, I'm back to the world now. I'm not into that. I'm not into that realm now. Now I can be real. Okay. Don't think like that. Okay. But we don't necessarily think of, going to a specific place, then we start to behave, and we need to behave a certain way so we can be seen that we are good, whatever practitioners. But rather, the way it might come to you is that when I'm meditating, I'm accessing something other than what's here. When I'm not meditating, I have to deal with life. It has nothing to do with what I access when I'm meditating. Okay. If we continue to do that, this duality, this dichotomy, we will not be able to make meaningful transformation in our lives. Okay. The spirituality, this is it. Sitting here, attending this is spirituality, and this is the world. They shouldn't be separate things. Your spirituality is the world. Your worldly should be your spirituality. Okay. And the reason that we begin to observe meaningful transformation taking place in our lives is because we have not separated them. Okay, that's the only time when we start to experience meaningful things. If we keep separating them, then it will be like, okay, then I'll be happy when I'm in meditation. When I'm not in meditation, it's okay if I'm not happy. Something like that. Okay, it's kind of lame to say that, but you know what I mean. All right. So in the same way, the discernment and the clarity that is spoken of, supposedly the philosophical presentation of clarity, the highly sophisticated presentation of discernment. It shouldn't be like, oh, that's for the books, and this is my life now. What clarity do I need? You have to see them, one helping the other. The clarity that supposedly the philosophical, highly sophisticated presentation of discernment has to deal with your life. It has to, and whatever is going on in your life that you consider to be relevant, it must deal with that. Okay. If paying the mortgage is very relevant to you, this discernment that Nangajula is talking about, it must be relevant to you being able to pay your mortgage. Don't separate them. Okay. Like I'm really at a loss. My mind is consumed by this thing that's happening. I don't know. I can't come up with an exact example. What can we talk about? Yeah, okay. Let's use the mortgage. My mind is consumed by the mortgage. If I'm going to be able to make the next mortgage, if I'm going to lose the whatever, your mind is consumed by that. And then when you sit to meditate, you don't bring this up. You think, oh, that's the world. When I'm meditating, I'm supposed to be thinking about, how many angels can fit on top of a pin. If contemplating how many angels will fit on top of a pin will help you with your mortgage, then contemplate how many angels will sit on a point of a pin. Okay? If it's not going to help you with your mortgage, and by mortgage, I'm not talking about just mortgage, whatever it is that is going on in your life that is consuming you, that you find it is relevant enough for it to grab your attention, you may use discernment to figure out that, wait a minute, this is not something that I should be consumed by. But at the moment you're consumed by it, it feels like something that you need to address. Okay? If when you sit down to meditate, whatever you're doing in the meditation, if it's not something to help you address this thing that you're consumed by, then the meditation is worthless. There are two things that are not connected to each other. You may even be such a person where you're meditating, you see light, you have incredible experiences, but you still can't pay your mortgage. You still can figure out how to deal with your life. Okay? They have the reason why you were even interested in meditation was because of things happening in your life that you wanted to deal with, that were relevant enough for you to seek, okay, how do I deal with this? How do I relate with this? And somehow you find yourself learning how to meditate or get into the dharma. Okay. Now, when you encounter the dharma or the spiritual path, they talk about things that seems to be completely unconnected. Then we create a duality where there's my life and then there's a spiritual life, and they're not supposed to be together. And then even in the spiritual path, you're told, get rid of the mundane, get rid of the mundane, get rid of the mundane. How are we supposed to understand that? So getting rid of the mundane means look at what that is consuming you. Use proper discrimination, use proper discernment. Should you be consumed by it? Is it something that is really worth being consumed by? Okay. Then if it is something that is worth being consumed by, then the spirituality, then whatever you're being told should be able to address it. All that is to begin by saying the term clarity, selwa, and the term discernment, actually shut up. Those two terms, we use them in everyday life. Okay, so something is happening in the world, and there seems to be a lot of confusion, and we would like clarity. What does that mean? We want clarity. What does it mean? And along with clarity, we want to exercise what you might call proper discernment. Okay, proper discernment. What does that mean? We want to exercise proper discernment. What does that mean to you? In what way the clarity that you're using at that moment is relevant to you, what's going on, whether it's going on in your social life, whether it's going on just internally, whether it's going on in, psychologically, however, whatever is going on within whatever dimension of you that is dealing with something where you feel the need for clarity. Okay, and what is clarity? So in a very very, what to call it, very materialistic way, we think of clarity in terms of something is not appearing the way it's supposed to be appearing. There's the thing that is appearing, and then something else is obscuring the thing from appearing. And you cannot properly discern what is appearing, what is there. Like, for example, a very material way of pointing to this is you're driving in a fog. The road and the houses and the car ahead of you, they have not become fog. They're still there, but the fog is obscuring you. You're not able to properly discern, for example, the distance. You're not able to properly discern what objects are next to you or close to you or far from you. If there is someone, if there is a being in front of you, you're not able to make that discernment. And what do you do at that time? You don't rush through trying to get to the other side of the fog. You navigate yourself carefully, exercising, using what is at your disposal in order to be able to have some level of clarity, so you can make a proper judgment. Like you drive a bit slow. You turn on I'm not a driver. The beams. You turn on the beams. I'm a passenger. Okay. I'm a professor or a passenger. I think I have a license for being a passenger. Okay, so you turn on the high beams. I think they're called high beams. Oh, that's good. High beams, and then they bring you more illumination, so you can have more clarity, right? And then you drive at a certain speed, so that as soon as you are aware that, oh, I can discern this thing is a post. I can discern this is a turn, and then you can adjust yourself. So this level of clarity and discernment shouldn't be so different when you're reading Nagarjuna, and Nagarjuna is talking about clarity. Nagarjuna is talking about discernment. Don't think that they're two separate worlds. There's a reason why Nagarjuna is using clarity. There's a reason why Nagarjuna is using discernment, because it is what we are familiar with. So use that same carefulness that we use in that situation, use it with all aspects of your life. All aspects of your life. Right now, you could say, as far as the world politics or situation is going on, it's like there's a fog. A fog has descended. So just like when you're driving, you need to don't rush. That is, don't rush to conclusions about what is being presented to you. And the what you call it, the practical way of understanding this is, don't trust everything that you read. Don't trust every video that you see just on the face of it. Okay? Just like when you're in the fog, something appears to be something, you don't just jump and say that's what it is. You allow yourself to debate a little bit closer, make sure the light is shining on it properly, so you can say, oh, that's what this is. Okay? So in the same way, we sometimes we may have prejudices. That's what we would like it to be. That's what we would like to be. That's the thing we would like to be there behind the fog. That's the truth we would like to be behind the fog of all the different opinions and different perspectives that are being thrown at you. Okay. the mind, your mind, is an incredible, beautiful instrument for truth. Yes, a definition that I would say that I draw from my studies and from my experiences in life, one of the definitions I would give to the mind is a truth finder. Not that every mind, whatever it encounters, finds truth, but the mind is always looking for truth. The thing is, because we sometimes encounter, because we use so much energy to get to where we wanted to get to, we feel like, okay, I don't want to use any more energy. I don't want to investigate any further. I'll stick with what I have found right now. When we do that, we are telling the mind, this is the truth. And the mind will respond to it. Okay, if this is the truth, then these are the consequences of this being the truth. And it will respond that way. Like, for example, when we self-talk to the point where, like negative self-talk, like, what would be a negative? I'm not lovable. Okay, the definition of my being is that which is unlovable. And it could have been that, I don't know, someone you trusted in one moment said something that made you feel unloved. And that was a perception. And we took that, okay, that's it. I don't need any more. I don't need to see anything else. I saw that clearly. Therefore, this is the truth. I am not someone to be loved because I had that experience. And we take that as truth. And then we, and all the different mechanisms, all the different functions of the mind will now arrange themselves as if that is the truth. If I'm not loving, then I must do this. If I'm not loving, if I'm not lovable, if I'm not something to be loved, I must be here. This must be what I must see. This must be what I must hear. And I think psychologists call this bias, something, what's called it? Something bias. Bias leaning?
Confirmation.
Bias
Confirmation
confirmation?
bias. Yeah.
What was that?
Confirmation bias.
Confirmation bias. Yeah, that's it. So confirmation bias. So we fine tune all our instruments to look for confirmation that we are an object that cannot be loved. So whatever else is going on, it is to be ignored because they're not truth. If someone comes and tells you, I love you, you're a wonderful person, if you're so convinced you're not someone to be loved, you will not hear them. You think, oh, that person is just fooling, that person is just kidding me, that person is not telling me the truth, that person is not lying. But if someone comes and say, I hate you, say, that's the truth. One person comes and said, or one person does something to you that proves that, and then you say, see, that's the truth. So all this is that the mind, being a truth seeker, it doesn't necessarily mean that whatever it finds is necessarily the truth. Okay? But it has the capacity to find truth. And how does it find truth? You have to be aware of, there are layers of discovery. Whatever trauma, whether you believe in one life or you believe in many lives, there was a point you had a trauma with reality. And the response, a way of dealing with this trauma is to not deal with reality. It is to constantly escape from reality. Constantly, and where is reality found? Reality found in the immediate present moment. So we develop a habit because of that trauma to never stay put in the present moment. As soon as we find ourselves staying in the present moment, we create diversion. we distract ourselves to the point where we have become, and the mind really has limitless potentials of what it can create as real for it. Okay, so the mind is both a seeker of truth, but it's also a creator of truths. Okay, it is a creator of truth and both a seeker of truth. Okay, so because of that, the mind, having made up its mind, the present moment is unpalatable. And I seek satisfaction, I seek contentment, because this contentment that the mind is seeking is that the mind has lost connection with its true nature. Because the mind has lost connection or awareness, conscious awareness is no longer connected to the true nature of the mind is seeking its true nature. And the contentment that the mind is seeking its true nature. That's why in whatever activity you're doing, there is a part of your mind waiting for some sort of satisfaction to come out of it. It is using it as a road, as a path to get to its true nature. Of course, the mind doesn't consciously say, "Oh, where's my true nature? I think I've lost it. Okay, where can I find it?" So, okay, let me try this cigarette to see if the cigarette with the path to my true nature. Oh, I'm enjoying the activity. Okay, where's my true nature? It's not coming. Oh, there, I'm feeling a little something. Okay. This thing is connected to my true nature. Okay, it's not that the mind is doing that. The very act of looking for satisfaction is a sign that the mind has consciously lost contact with its true nature and is looking for it. Okay, so why did I bring this up? This has to do with the mind having made up its, having come up with a conclusion that this is my nature, this is truth, and this is supposed to give it a sense of satisfaction. With those two things are connected. Okay, and the capacity of the mind to be able to know that it has found what it's looking for is because it's almost as if it's holding a blueprint or a picture of what it's looking for. And once it encounters something, that it goes towards something thinking that I think this is going to give me what I'm seeking. What I'm looking for is going to be found there. Oh, even something as silly as watching your favorite show. The reason that it is your favorite show is because through watching it, somehow you make contact with an experience that reminds you of your true nature. Yes, don't worry, your mind is not philosophizing, never mind, you heard it. Your mind is not doing that at every moment in terms of word, but your mind is doing that in a non-conceptual way. Okay, that the reason that you like anything, it is because it is an approximation to having found your true nature. And this is not for when you're sitting down to meditate and when you come out of meditation and forget about this. Okay, whatever you find yourself liking, it is because deep within you, you believe you have found at least an approximation to having found your true nature. Okay. So that capacity to know you have found your true nature is the first thing is a sense. There is this innate knowing connected to my true nature. There's a sense of joy. What is that joy? Joy means simply I'm resting in my truth. I don't need to strive anymore. I have found a place where I need to rest. And I'm talking about resting and being static. Okay. Talking about a rest where you no longer need to search for something to give you a sense of satisfaction. You are now abiding in satisfaction. It doesn't mean that if something harmful is coming your way, you're just gonna stay there and then it's gonna slap you and you say, oh wow, that feels so good. You may be that kind of person, but I'm not talking about that. You know, what do you call it, masochist, right? Uh, a quick note, masochists are looking for joy too. It's just that for them, what we are calling pain is for them what they call joy. Okay? So my initial premise still holds, even if you bring that up. Okay? All right? So when that harmful thing is approaching you, you're able to clearly discern this is not going to help me stay in my nature. I better move away from this harm. Okay. So when you abide, when you are close, when you are in close proximity and even abide in your truth, in your true nature, then you will have the clarity to know what is the clarity that you need at that moment. This is not my nature. And I remember the long trip when I was lost, when I was away from my true nature, and I don't want to go back there anymore. So I'm going to stay away from that. Okay. And you're able to clearly discern, you're able to see what it is, what is it about it? How can it, is that a path to stay in your nature? Is that a path to take you away from your nature? You're able to make that kind of discernment. Okay. Now, because clarity, and think of clarity is not being confused. Think of clarity now as a visual where there is space, where there is space. And think of space as a medium that allows for things to be. Okay. Now, if it is pure space, then you're able to see the thing because there's nothing else obscuring it. Okay. So the part of the true nature of the mind is that clarity. So the clarity that you seek is being in touch with that space-like quality of your mind. That is the quality of your mind that doesn't project onto things, but that allow things to present themselves to the mind. Basically allow things to appear in the space of the mind so that you can clearly discern this is this is that. Now, on the way to that clarity, while you're traveling through this fog, eventually we will get to a place where there's no more fog. But as we are traveling through this fog, what's the first thing that you are, if you allow yourself to directly experience, what is the first thing that you will directly experience? The fog. There will be the fog. The fog will be something that is actually appearing to you. Don't be like I'm sorry, I'm really bashing New Agers. Don't be like those New Agers who, being forced by the trauma of not staying with the present moment is so strong, whatever is presented to themselves, they've created a fantasy where the very act of disassociation, the very habit of being disconnected, the very habit of distraction, the very habit, they make that into some holy thing. And how do they make that into some holy thing? There's fog. Stop pretending there's no fog. There is fog. And to sort of go to an authority that you and maybe not you, well, you and not all of you, but a lot of you and I will agree upon. When the Buddha is talking about the initial stages of meditation, part of the clarity is to say, I have anger in my mind. When there is anger in your mind, that is clarity. The New Age clarity would be, there's anger in your mind. Oh, anger is a bad thing. Okay, my mind is really a beautiful angel thing. There's no anger. There's no anger. There's no anger. Even though there's anger in your mind. That's what I'm talking about, that New Agey way of making distraction some sort of holy thing. Okay. And if you want to really stay connected to the sacred, stay connected to the holy, whatever is appearing, that is holy. Whatever is actually appearing, that is the sacred. Okay? And instead of, sometimes, of course, unfortunately, we get caught up in judgment. Oh, there's anger. Oh, that's a bad thing. Oh, my goodness. Okay, I'm bad. I have anger in my mind. Blah, blah, blah. No, just stay back. Now the sacred is taking the form of something, of an experience called anger. I'm not saying the sacred is taking the form of anger. That means whenever anger comes, I am in the sacred. I'm not saying stay in the anger, but understand that whatever is appearing in a way that feels like it is really appearing, understand that it is the sacred, what we call the sacred, that is taking that form. And for some of you who are hell bent on the philosophy, that's emptiness. It is emptiness appearing as anger. It is emptiness appearing as love. It is emptiness appearing as, okay? I'm calling it the sacred, okay? Because we're all seeking the emptiness. We're all seeking the sacred, okay? Well, I don't want you appearing to me in that form. Picky. So whatever is appearing to you, allowing yourself to be aware of it, that is degrees of clarity. There is fog. There is confusion. That's what is actually your experience. Don't go into fantasy dismissing what is your actual experience. It doesn't always have to be some pleasant experience for you to say, okay, now clarity is coming. No. There is confusion, and that's what is there, and that's what you're seeing, and that is clarity. That is clarity. And you have discerned there is the appearance of fog. There is the appearance of confusion in my mind. There is the appearance of different opinions coming at me. And there's the experience of not being able to pick which one I should follow. There is this experience happening right now. That is the only path to wisdom. Okay? It's not dismissing experiences. If you continue to dismiss actual experiences, you're not on the path of wisdom. You're on the path of fantasy. You're on the path of continuing this very strong word. This abomination. Strong word. this abomination of existence. What is this abomination of existence? You are, in essence, completely pure. By pure, I'm not talking about your this color and that color, you're pure this, you're pure that. You're not any specific thing. You're just the potential to be anything. And when, in relative to any appearance, when you just abide in just your pure, spacious nature, it is naturally, spontaneously blissful. And here we are, like ants. Sorry, I'm not degrading ants. Any ants among us? Sorry. uh, uh, here we are, these incredible, magnificent potentials, experiencing an expression, a possible expression of our limitless modes, capacities of expression, and we are stuck to it and thinking that, oh, worries me, I am suffering, I am suffering, I am suffering, I am suffering. That's what I'm calling an abomination. Okay. And I'm not talking about an abomination like look at other sentient beings. Oh my God, another abomination. No, the fact that we as beings, where our true nature is just pure potential for infinite experiences, and we find ourselves completely limited. I mean, look at the vast universe and the Earth itself, not the Earth itself, the entire solar system is but a speck. The Earth is a speck within the solar system, and the solar system itself is a speck within the galaxy. The galaxy is a speck itself within the, whole of it, right? And this great vastness, we see ourselves as even worse than a speck on a speck on a speck on a speck on a speck. But that is not our nature. But we have conditioned our truth seeker, the truth seeker instrument. We've forced it to believe that it is just a speck on a speck on a speck on a speck on a speck. And because it believes it's a speck on a speck on a speck on a speck on a speck, they say, okay, these are the conditions for being on a speck, a speck, a speck on a speck on a speck. It's impossible to even consider being able to know what's on the other side of the Milky Way galaxy, let alone on the other side of the galaxy itself. It's impossible to know what's within, very close to us, the closest thing to us. Forget about knowing what's even beyond the galaxy. We have convinced ourselves that that is the truth. So that is the truth. If you're a speck on a speck on a speck, you cannot even know your own planet. You cannot even know the very instrument that we are using as an expression that we call our body, our mind, because we are a speck on a speck on a speck on a speck on a speck. And we have forced ourselves to believe that to be the truth. But this is very unsatisfying because a part of us is holding the picture. Wait a minute, there's supposed to be bliss here. There's no bliss here. Keep looking. Stop. No, you can't stop looking until you find the truth. Okay. So the space, the nature of the mind, which is this clarity, which is just making space for what is to appear. And discernment is basically allowing yourself not to have prejudgment, not to have what's that word? Prejudgment. What's another word for prejudgment? That's a bit stronger. Preconceived ideas, not through
expectations.
Yeah. To don't throw these projections, expectations and projections, and then expecting reality to be that. So discernment is seeing something without expectations, seeing something without prejudice, seeing something without prejudgment, okay? But allowing it to let it be what it is. And what do I mean by that? I'm not talking about when you're doing that, you'll be bliss. You're in the presence of it. This is annoying. That is your immediate experience. Yes, your experience comes from condition. When you're in contact with this, because of your conditioning, you are experiencing being annoyed. But when you're having a sense of annoyance showing up, do not tell yourself, oh, annoyance is not a good thing. Okay, I shouldn't be annoyed. And then, and instead of dealing with it, you're trying to escape from it. If annoyance is what is your direct experience, then you are seeing it, then you have clarity. Okay? Now, the annoyance may be the cloud. The annoyance may be the fog that is not allowing you to see what is beyond it. But first, you must acknowledge that there is the fog. You must acknowledge there is the annoyance. Because if you don't acknowledge that there is the annoyance, how are you going to be able to see what's beyond it? You can't just pretend that it's not there. If you pretend it's not there, then what's behind it that could be your gift for you, you will not be able to see it either. Okay? There is this annoyance, and I feel there's something behind it that is meaningful. I need to deal with this annoyance and just be with it. That is clarity. That is proper discernment. Okay? Discernment doesn't mean that your mind is always in bliss. Clarity doesn't mean your mind is always in bliss. Okay? Remember, what naturally appears is an aspect or I can't come up with a term right now, but it is emptiness itself taking on a form. Okay? Now, if you allow yourself to really just sit with whatever appears can show you it's the sacred aspect of it. Now, just because something arose from the sacred doesn't mean that the thing that is appearing itself is something that is itself. Oh, this is going to be sound. How am I going to make that? That is itself the sacred. Okay. It is an appearance that the sacred has taken, but the appearance itself is not the sacred. You understand? You're wearing a costume. You look like, I don't know, what can I think about? You look like a donut. You're wearing a costume that looks like a donut. Now, because you are wearing the costume of a donut, is the donut you? No, the donut is not you. But the donut is a costume that you have taken. You understand? Whatever is appearing seemingly naturally, even confusion, it is the sacred itself that is appearing that way. But don't think that there is another reality other than your immediate reality. In a sense, what I mean by that is, don't think that if I just dismiss this, then I'll connect with the other reality. Let me say, painful and what's the opposite of painful? Pleasant. Okay. Pleasant and painful. Pleasant is a form that the sacred has taken. Unpleasant is a form, or pain or suffering is a form that the sacred has taken. Which form of the sacred do you want to continue with? Because it is sincerely a form taken by the sacred, it will be that for what it is appearing to be at the relative level. I hope I'm not losing you. It is painful. That's what painful has always been. That's what painful will always be. It is a form of the sacred that you do not wish to continue to encounter. But when you encounter whatever is appearing, you immediately remind yourself it's a form of the sacred that is appearing like this. Okay? And my immediate response to this appearance of the sacred is unpleasant. That means this appearance of the sacred is not allowing me to make contact with my true nature. I prefer an appearance of the sacred that connects me, reminds me, makes me feel connected to my true nature. So it doesn't mean, okay, take that back, and then you wait for, I don't know, some miracle to happen and it just disappears. Okay, you don't want this. Okay, let's take it back. Okay, what you would like now. It doesn't work that way. You have to deal with it. It is real. It is coming from the sacred. Therefore, it is the only reality that ever. There's no other reality. There's no other reality. This is reality. What you are immediately experiencing. It is painful. Then that's the reality you're experiencing. It is a real, relatively real pain. Okay. Now, when you are able to abide in your true nature, the closer and closer, the more connected you are to your true nature, then the less you can be concerned about whether it's appearing as this or it's appearing as that. Like you reach a certain degree of closeness or intimacy with your authentic nature that you can be walking down the street and you see a banana skin and you pick it up and you eat it. And it's not going to be poisonous for you. Don't go try this out. But if you're in that state, there's no such thing as only banana peel. Now you're connected to the reality of the source of the banana peel. Okay? Then as soon as you pick up the banana peel, you have the intention, let me be nourished by this, and it becomes something for you to nourish you. Okay? I can give you some examples, but I don't think you will believe me. The yogis, the only example I can think of is yogis are, oh my goodness. The closer they are to their true nature, the less reverential they seem to be towards everything. Okay, because really at that level, everything is just another appearance, another appearance of the true nature of reality. And if you use the term God for the true nature of reality, it was just God playing. Okay. And because you are truly, clearly not having fog, you're truly having a direct experience of that sacredness. Okay. So you see, oh, look at sacredness becoming a butterfly. Oh, look at sacredness becoming this. Look at sacredness becoming a king. Look at sacredness becoming this. You're able to see that. You're able to touch the sacredness. Okay. We don't see the sacredness. Well, me. We are at that point of reality where it is a butterfly. It is a banana peel that will not be good for me. It is pain. It is these things, because that's the level. That's what we have made our mind agree to be the truth. So it abides by that. Okay. Yeah, the yogi, the story. Okay, so this yogi, I'm not sure how this yogi ended up being in the presence of a king somewhere. And I don't know the exact detail, but I know the end story. I'm going to jump to the end story. The yogi ended up eating a chicken or something. And then the king was saying, "Oh my God, you're a yogi, you eat a chicken. Oh my goodness." And the yogi said, "Oh, you want the chicken back?" Okay. I guess you figured out what the end of the story is. The yogi made the chicken come back. But it wasn't the way we make the chicken come. It was a whole chicken flying, flapping its wing again that came out. Okay? Because the yogi is in constant contact with the sacred. Okay? But we are not in constant contact, and we are seeking that. And the secret is not something out there that we are begging, please let me enter, knocking on the door. It is our what we are is an expression of the sacred. And I think this was one of the most profound things I've ever heard about what is referred to as the Buddha nature, Tathagata. And then when people are doing kind of meditation, trying to find the Tathagata, this is the Tathagata. What else is the Tathagata? What else is the Buddha nature? What else is the source of reality? It is this reality that I'm experiencing right now. Okay? This is it. You're looking for emptiness. You know, trying to find emptiness. What is emptiness? It is this reality that is emptiness. It is this reality that is showing up. It is emptiness showing up as this experience. That's you're looking at it right now. Okay. All right. So on the journey, when we journey to the innate clarity of the mind, the first thing to do is be honest with your experiences. I am confused. That's what's there. Be honest with it. I shouldn't be confused. Dismiss. I'm looking for something else. I'm looking for something else that is distracting ourselves from what is actually taking place. Looking for something that is not here. And when you keep looking for something that is not here, what you're going to find? Your imagination. And then what can you do with what is not here? Believe it or not, the only thing you can do with what is not here, if you're trying to do something with what is not here, is to suffer. Okay? So whatever is here, that is your path to your true nature. Whatever is here, that is the path to the sacred. Whatever is here. I'm confused. Are you really confused? Yes, then that's your path to the sacred. I am angry. Are you really angry? You're not just pretending to be angry because you think, oh, I heard anger is a wonderful thing. Let me try it. Let me imagine. Let me pretend to be angry. No, are you really angry? If that's what's really going on and you're seeing it clearly and you made the proper discernment, yeah, this is anger. I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. These are the things. Yeah, these are the signs of the presence of anger. Okay, that's your path to sacred. Just being with it. Okay? Now, remember, cloud, fog, these things are obscuring. The anger is obscuring. The jealousy is obscuring. The anxiety is obscuring. If we do not admit that they are there, we will not be able to clearly say they are obscuring. I feel there's something profound, something meaningful behind them. But they will not just go away by pretending that they're not there. They will only disappear by acknowledging that they are there. Okay? By acknowledging that they are there, oh, all right, there is anger. Why am I angry? And just be with it. Let the anger answer you. You don't have to come up with an answer yourself. Let the anger answer. Okay? Hey, remember we signed a contract when that trauma happened to you? You thought your existence was in danger. You needed this feeling that you have right now to protect you. So now you have discerned, I'm in danger, so I'm coming to your rescue. That's what anger is. I'm coming to your rescue. I'm coming here to protect you. That's what anger is. Anger is a discernment. That is, we have made up our mind, we have encountered something that is dangerous for us, that is harmful for us. Now, the discernment may be wrong, but that's the discernment that has been made. That's the decision that has been made, and that's why the anger comes up. If we did not make that discernment, I'm in danger, whatever that danger may be, anger would not show up. So whenever anger shows up, know that you are trying to protect yourself from whatever you believe to be harmful. So talk to the anger. Let the anger speak. Where's the danger? And then you say, see that light on the wall? It's coming to get you. And then you just say, oh, the light on the wall. Okay, let me just now be clear. Let what appearing be. Let it appear. Let me make my mind space. Let me go into the spacious quality of my mind so that what is appearing can clearly appear. Oh, I see. I've obscured this light with boogeymen. I'm actually telling you a story about what happened to me when I was a kid. I was still in my, I don't know how old I was, but I was still in my crib, unless I stayed in my crib until too late. I didn't graduate from babyhood for a long time. But I remember I was in my crib. I woke up one night and I saw all these dancing things, lights. And then they seemed to be going, and then I made up my mind, rather than allow them to tell me what it is. I made up my mind, okay, that's the boogeyman coming to get me. Okay. So if later on when I see that, I'm thinking, oh, the boogeyman is coming to get me, right? The boogeyman is coming. The conclusion, the boogeyman is coming to get me. That's the obscuration. Not letting me see. Wait a minute. It's just the light from outside shining through the leaves. And the spots are the spaces between the leaves. It looks like light. And it's moving because there's a breeze. That's why the light seems to be moving. So if I just allow the experience to just be what it is, that's what I would get. Okay? Or at least I would get, wait a minute, it's been there for quite some time. The feeling that is coming to get me hasn't happened. Nothing has happened yet. So it's not coming to get me. It's just there moving back and forth. Okay? So when we encounter something, the boogeyman is what we put in front of the thing, and it obscures what the thing is. So if the boogeyman comes, then look at the boogeyman. That feeling, that dread, this thing is coming to kill me, this thing is coming to grab me. How exactly is it going to do that? And this fog, this feeling that is obscuring what is there, by being with it, so that is the clarity there. I have a fear of this thing. The fear is now present. Don't say, "Oh, fear is a bad thing. Put it away. I don't want to deal with fear." Okay. Mary had a little lamb, and you're trying to distract yourself. No, I have fear now. What is the fear? The fear is, hey, you're in danger, right? And anger says, hey, you're in danger, better protect yourself. Get ready to say something nasty. Get ready to do something to protect yourself, protect your feeling, protect your emotions, protect your body, protect whatever it is that you value. It's in danger. So when that comes, see it. It is there. I have fear. I have anger. I have anxiety. And then by staying with it, and then maybe you can say, oh, when I was a baby, that thing I saw, it wasn't that. So this thing which is appearing now, telling me, oh, remember back then when this happened, you asked me to come and help you, protect you, and I made you go to sleep, go to sleep. It won't get you if you go to sleep. Go to sleep, go to sleep. That's how I learned how to go to sleep in 3 seconds. Okay. So now so there's the fear. Oh yeah, there's fear, and then disappears. And now you're able to look at the thing without the fear. Say, oh, it's just shadows and light on the wall. Okay, now that you see just shadow and light on the wall, that next time you see it, it will not be a calling card for anger to come up to come and protect you, because you've discerned this is not harmful. I'm not in danger. Okay, you have to arrive at that discernment. I am not in danger for that anger to no longer become obscure anymore. Okay, but first you must deal with the anger, because that's what's there. And what created the anger? The same sacredness that created bliss. Okay. All right. So with all the things that's going on in the world, we get a lot of different opinions as to what it's supposed to be. You're presented with something. Take a moment. What contribution, what are you layering on it? What is it summoning from you? What emotions? What is it triggering from you? Is it what you're directly experiencing, the most immediate experience? Is it the triggered part? Okay, I'm triggered because, okay, now I cannot be triggered. Okay, let me look at it now. Let me look at it. Oh, it says it's a table that has 4 legs, and I only see 2 legs. So it's not a table with 4 legs. Okay. So when you allow your mind to be clear, then you can discern properly what is actually present. All right. And by doing this, you will eventually, by doing this with your everyday experience, not dismissing them, seeing every experience as sacred. Remember, and I have to say this, seeing every experience as sacred. Someone is abusing you, someone is abusing you. You shouldn't let yourself be abused. You shouldn't let the person abuse. Because it shouldn't be doesn't mean it doesn't come from the sacred. The sacred creates reality. If it's abuse, if it comes from the sacred, it is real abuse. It's not fake abuse. Like you're watching a movie and they're pretending to be beating each other up. That's not what it means to be coming from the sacred. The sacred creates reality. It creates our experiences. And last thing I'm going to say, the sacred doesn't create fake. The sacred doesn't create fake pain. The sacred doesn't create fake bliss. If the bliss must, if for the bliss to be meaningful, the pain must also be meaningful. Okay? And wow, really talked a lot this time. I didn't even get into the real stuff yet. Don't worry. We got into the real stuff. I didn't get into the fluffy stuff that you listen to it, oh, that was so profound, and you completely forget about it the next day. Because it's not really relevant to I got my I got my oh my god, I forgot the word. My mortgage to take care of. Okay. All right. Now, open for questions. And if there's some insight that your innate wisdom gifted you, you can share it with us. Don't be stingy.
Okay, I'm itching to share.
Oh, please share.
Okay. At the beginning of the call, we were having a conversation. Before you arrived, you missed the true nature of reality.
Ah.
But Gila gave me a compliment. Gila, Gila, Gila.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and as you spoke, I kept going back to that moment in my head, and I noticed like I don't really I react in a dismissive way to compliments and positive affirmation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And even though I really like receiving positive affirmation and compliments,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's partially because they've been used as a manipulation tactic.
Mm-hmm.
But I noticed that when she said it today, it was based on an observation that she made,
Mm-hmm.
which, when I think about it, it was genuine. And yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to her. Appreciate the compliment.
Thank you, Gila, for making him accept it.
I just want to say she had to leave to go to rehearsal.
Oh, okay, yes. Okay.
So next time you can tell her.
Yeah, yeah, next time. Or maybe on the Zoom on the recording.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess the other question, the question that I had was the first step, when you mentioned the first step of connecting with your true nature is being present with what is.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right. Um, there's sometimes this experience of there's something that's, there's I'm almost like in a pressure cooker where if I take time to so much as if I'm not breathing properly in a conversation with someone, if I take time to breathe, it's almost like there's that such an intense fear of like, oh no, they're gonna know something, they're gonna know that I'm a bit nervous, or they're gonna know I'm a bit shy, or in those instances, I guess it's like how do you be present with fear in a way that doesn't overwhelm,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it involves being in close contact with people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So in a situation where immediate correction is necessary, then the habit of distraction becomes a very good tool. Distract yourself from whatever it is that is making you nervous. Bring to mind as strongly as possible something else. Okay. But when you're not in that immediate need of making correction about that, then have a wonderful conversation with that feeling. That is, sit with it, and then let it tell you why it has come up. What is it that deep in your mind you have accepted to be reality that it is responding to? An example of nervous, well, let's see. I think a lot of people have developed the habit of being pressured, being productive when they are under stress. And if they're not under stress, they find themselves not being able to be productive. That is simply a conditioning that we have created, where basically we sort of like written this in the code of our being. Unless there is this level of pressure, do not be productive. There's no need for it to be productive. It is just a code that we have written. It is not like that's your absolute nature or anything like that. So the way to address it is to why do I need? I am able to be productive. Is being productive always under stress? Is it healthy? Is it something that actually gives me a true sense of satisfaction because I want satisfaction? Then if you come up with, well, it is not really healthy. Yes, I'm productive, but there are these drawbacks that makes me actually not able to fully enjoy life, actually, fully, right? And this is something that this is what it does. This is what it does. Just like let's say, for example, whatever it is that we have conditioned ourselves to be a necessary condition in order for us to be able to do certain things. It is simply a coding that we have written ourselves. What becomes the habitual patterns. We have written them ourselves due to accepting certain perception, accepting certain experiences as final truth. Okay. And we can, the same way we can write the code, we can erase it and we can rewrite the code. And the way to write a code is to come up with what we see, what we experience as coming face to face with a reality, a truth. Having a sense of I am seeing it clearly, having a sense of I'm discerning it properly. And those two things are not absolutes, right? But the more we simply relax and admit what is present, then obscurations become less and less. And then what is present, what is presenting itself to us can become clearer and clearer. So it's not so much the thing itself is not clear, but rather our mind is not clear. Our mind is obscured. It's not that the thing is deceiving us, but rather the obscurity of our mind is misshaping, misrepresenting what is there. Okay, and the obscuration, by relaxing, it's like eventually it will settle and it will allow what is there to be there. I am nervous. Oh, look at this. I am nervous. Look at this. Yeah, yeah, these are the proper signs. I am properly discerning these signs to be equal the experience of being nervous. Okay, this is what's here. This is what's here now. Okay, why am I using this as a method to deal with what is being presented in front of me? Okay, and then the nervousness itself will communicate to you. I mean, if it comes out as, you know, somebody sitting in front of you, oh, by the way, I'm your nervousness. I'm here to. If it comes that way, run. Actually, if it does come that way, that would be a beautiful thing to do. But if come teach me how you do that. There's a lot of parts of me I need to have a sit down and talk with in that way. But you know, you will have you will get what is called insights. That is insight, a true seeing, an unprejudiced seeing, an a non-prejudgment seeing as it is. You get closer and closer to that. That was a long answer. I'm not even sure if I addressed your question.
Well, something actually came up.
Okay.
Why would I run if it came to me in that way?
Oh, I mean, just
Was it just a
joke, but
okay?
all right. Monsieur Nizam, you have a.
Well, I was going to say that joke you made is a little bit about what my thesis for my graduate degree is about.
Oh, really?
The presence of external entities coming to support us in different ways, yes. Which, of course, on some level are not external, how we conceive of the self, etc. But yeah.
If indeed some of you have such powerful minds that an externalization of that inner dynamic shows up, make sure at the end you see the external appearance dissolves back into you, like what's it called, that thing? Reintegrate. Okay, and that's a beautiful sort of imaginative exercise to do. If it doesn't seem to appear by itself, then you can imagine, and then make sure you see what you've imagined as the personification of something reintegrates with you. That is no longer something that needs to be a disturbance. That path is called Tantra. All right, so it's definitely very late. That's what I say every time. It's late. All right, we have minus 5 minutes to meditate. We're going to meditate backwards in time. Okay, all right. It's all done. You've done it already. You don't remember? We did it backwards. All right, let me stop. All right, so communicate to your all the dimensions of you that you're going to enter meditation. Proximate approach your true nature. Feel the response coming from all the different dimensions of you: the physical, the energetic, the emotional, the intellectual. The dualistic, the non-dualistic, the conceptual, the non-conceptual, all the different dimensions of you aligning themselves to enter meditation, to reintegrate into fundamental being. Allow the intelligence in the body to guide you, how you should have the body. Rejoice, noticing calm, pleasantness. Notice the breath, cooperating, rejoice. Notice calm and pleasantness. Notice the mind and all its different dimensions, functions, cooperating, experiencing a level of calm and pleasantness, rejoice. To seal the experience, let's do it with one gentle, deep breath. Breathe in, hold, release. And let yourself dive into the calm, dive into the pleasantness, dive into the clarity and radiance, dive into deeper, into the collected awareness. Notice the signs, rejoice. First, go to that center, wherever it may be, where the representation, the part of you that connects to the guide, that connects you to authentic self, that appeared, that you showed reverence and trust and gratitude to. Express gratitude to that part of you that helped you gain whatever understanding that came to the surface of your awareness. Be grateful. Now let's feel ourselves as a community, as if wherever you are, we are all sitting in that space in a circle, and in the very center appears a light that came out of our recognition of our oneness. That is, in the same way my right hand goes to help the left hand, thinking I'm helping myself, we feel that for each other. We feel the immediate readiness to go help each other, and we feel that I'm helping myself. Not how I'm helping myself feel good, but whatever I'm able to do over there, I'm doing it. It's myself that I'm doing it to. And this recognition gets stronger and stronger, and the light within the center of our circle gets bigger and bigger and brighter and bigger and brighter. And that sense of oneness becomes stronger and stronger until we are completely absorbed and dissolved into this bright presence. And it continues to expand, dissolving into itself, into that sense of oneness, everything, what we call organic and inorganic, the pets, the neighbors, the neighborhood, the state, the city, until it continues to expand, until whatever we feel to be all beings, whether it's just the planet Earth, if that feels more real, relevant to you, or whether it is a solar system or whatever feels real for you, like everyone. And it's all has been transformed into this ball of presence, a light, luminous presence. And that impulse we felt for each other, we feel it for the ocean, we feel it for the fish in the ocean, we feel it for the grass, we feel it for the insects, for the animals that fly in the sky, for the clouds, for the mountains. We feel it for all existence. And this realization, this reconnection to the fabric of absolute interdependence, interbeing, because it is so strong and so real, we no longer need an outside appearance to remind us. Then that bright light begins to shrink again. And as it shrinks, whatever it had absorbed into it begins to appear again. The sky appears, the clouds, the trees, the mountains, the oceans, the rivers, the animals, and all the way to the very center. And everything has now that spark, that glow of that recognition, like seeing the sacredness that emerged, that has formed into the different appearances. And as a final sign of that we have matured, we don't need outside validation anymore, then that ball of light disperses into different rays of light and enters into each of one of our hearts. And we have this conviction: when I sincerely help myself, I help everyone. When I sincerely help everyone, I help myself. And now go back to just the space of the meditation, noticing the calm, the pleasantness, the different signs pointing to your innate clarity and radiance. And with that, get ready to come out. Feel first the merit energy of our collective that came from our collective actions, from our collective work, this meeting together. And as you feel it, think of something that sincerely concerns you, whether it's someone who passed away, whether it's someone you know or yourself, whatever there is sincere concern, wish for that energy to go and address that concern. Gewadi, gewogem, senam yeshe zogzokshin, senam yeshe lechungwe, tamba kunye topa sho. With that readiness to come out, take a nice deep breath. Hold, release. And as you release, deliberately become aware of your immediate surroundings through the sense of touch, the temperature, the clothing, your seat, the different sounds and the lights, the shadows, the colors, the shapes. All right. Thank you very much, everyone.